video is so long that my camera just decided she was done with me and turned off. Welcome to 2019, guys. We really out here doing that. Today I am coming at you with my top 10 books of 2018. These are some. These are in no particular order, but my first favorite for 2018 was Tash Hart's Tolstoy. This stayed in my heart all year. I read this in January of last year. That's weird to say. Last year. I read this in January of last year, and it has stayed with me the whole year. This year I'm going to be rereading it so I can do a video review, but it's about kind of a booktuber, and she's asexual. And I get so emo, like, just thinking about it, but this is the first book I've ever read with, like, asexual rep in it. I've never, ever read anything like this before, and it was truly, like, I'm gonna say earth-shattering, which I know is just, like, so dramatic, but it made me so emo because you never see, and she ends up in a relationship, if I recall correctly. Number 2. Handmaid's Tale. I think this was a February read for me. But if you don't read any other classics this year, if you haven't read this yet, please go read it. I'm serious. It is, like, you think about it long after you finish it, which is obviously, like, one of the telltale signs of a good book. But it just, like, she wrote it and she didn't make anything up. Everything that is in here has happened in history, which was the simultaneously coolest and most disturbing thing of all. Especially as we're halfway through the Trump presidency, I think as a woman, as a feminist, as a liberal, or as anyone that even, like, exists or lives, you should read this book. It's really insightful. Also, the writing is mesmerizing. My goal in life is to be able to write this well. Like, this is the pinnacle. Actually, no, this is not the pinnacle. That leads me right to my next book. Okay, so this is the pinnacle of writing, truly. So, I hope that by posting this video, I'm gonna get this book amped up and get this back in circulation, because this is Linden Hills by Gloria Naylor. And it is, my friend recommended it to me because she read it in class, and it's, like, not super in circulation, but it is just, okay, alright, hang with me for a sec. So this is a book based off of Dante's Inferno, you know, like the 7 Circles of Hell. I've never read Dante's Inferno, but it's about the 7 Circles of Hell, but with African American consumerism and, like, the fight to, like, keep growing and, like, clawing at each other to succeed in America. And, like, with each, it's these two guys, and they keep, like, they go through this neighborhood which represents, like, capitalism and consumerism, and with each layer they go lower, it gets more and more evil and twisted and dark. Also, that storyline, I mean, who is she? Or what? Please read this book and tell me what you think, because, oh my god, I'm gonna reread this book and review it again just so I can have, it deserves a whole video. It's that good. But please read this, pick it up. I'm telling you, it's so good. Oh, now I've started going out of order with these books, and I don't know where I'm at. Okay, so I don't have these physical copies, but Everything by Leigh Bardugo was a hit for me this year. I know Cindy, like, really got into Six of Crows and Crooked Kingdom, and that was what made me read it. But Leigh Bardugo is just, like, so capable with creating these narratives and, like, totally immersing you in this world. She's just literally anything written by Leigh Bardugo I will read. And I know King of Scars is coming out, I think, this month. Editing Catherine will remind me, but I think it's this month, and I'm so excited. So we'll see when that happens. But number 4, I borrowed this from the library, but Under Rose-Tainted Skies, I really enjoyed this year. So, if I remember correctly, I read this over the summer. This was about a girl with agoraphobia who falls in love with her next door neighbor. And it was just a really gripping depiction of mental illness from a very realistic perspective. Just like the imagery of the panic attacks and the way that it didn't shy away from, like, it didn't romanticize anxiety at all. It didn't. And that was something that was, like, I really enjoyed. Like, I think there was some throw up in there, and I was like, you go, girl. You show that vomit. Because so often we romanticize anxiety, and we think, oh, it's just a cute little girl just being a little shy. And it's not. It's like a paralyzing sort of disability. And the way that it was depicted in this book was so stark, and it didn't shy away from the realities of it, and I deeply appreciated it. Also this summer, I reread the Clockwork Instruments series from Cassandra Clare. I am not a big Cassandra Clare fan. I made a whole video about these books because they really hit me hard, but it was less about the story and more about the way that this period of time was represented that really made me enjoy it a lot. It's written in like the 1800s. It's like Pride and Prejudice time, and something I enjoyed was I love reading books from that time period, but as you all know, those are written in the Old English stiff, stick up the ass kind of phrasing, which makes them a little harder to digest. So, to have this very well researched historical fiction novel that is basically like a Harry Potter version of Pride and Prejudice was amazing. And although I don't think I'll be picking up any more of Cassandra Clare's books, I'm just not a big fan of her, these books were a favorite for the year. Left this book at college and I'm so upset about it, but aside from Linden Hills by Gloria Naylor, my favorite book of all time now is A Little Life, which I discovered this year during Book 2-a-thon. I don't know what to say about this. I'm rereading it this year and filming a whole video about it, which I feel like I've said like 7 times, but this book, like, it's another depiction of mental illness, but it's like so much more than that. I can't even with this book. I can't even with this book, guys. Please read it. Trigger warnings for literally everything. Stay tuned this year. I will make a full length, and I'm sure way too long video about A Little Life by Hanya Yanagihara. When I think of my reading year this year, the 2 that really stand out to me are Linden Hills and A Little Life. So that is a major shout out for those 2 books. Please read those books. Oh my gosh. We're really delving deep into some sad books. Wasted by Mariah Hornbacher, I think is her name. I don't have anything in front of me right now. Was another favorite. This is a gripping memoir of anorexia. And this is, I've read a lot of anorexia books in my day. And this is the version of anorexia that I want everyone to read. She does not make it seem at all like some of the YA books I've read this year about eating disorders have been really discouraging to me, because they've like hardcore romanticized this mental illness, which has the highest mortality rate of all mental illnesses. This memoir is what it's really like to have an eating disorder. It truly is. Another book I don't have with me, borrowed it from a friend, The Kite Runner. That is right. I am the only booktuber or only book reader on the planet that had not read Kite Runner before November of 2018. It was just not something that was required in my classes ever. I know other classes read it, but I never had to read it. And I'm glad I did read it on my own, because wow, it was really good. Like, that shit hit me where it hurt, man. I just, whoever, God, it was just, oh. I don't know what to say about The Kite Runner, because number one, everything's already been said, because everyone knows this is an amazing book. But also, like, it was like a really emotional experience, which, you know, I'm a sensitive little babe, so everything's an emotional experience, but this was hardcore. I was crying. I was ugly sobbing at the end. I mean, you think it can't get worse, and then it just keeps smacking you in the face, and you're like, oh my god, leave me alone for 3 seconds. And he's like, no, I'm gonna beat you into the ground and make you happy about it. And I'm like, okay, thank you, but also I'm really sad. I feel like that was a pretty ringing endorsement for that book. My final favorite was Everything Everything by Nicola Yoon. This movie came out this year. I never saw it, but the book was on sale after the movie, and you bet I picked it up. I didn't expect a twist, and it twisted so hard, gave me like freaking whiplash. Oh my god. Like, wow, it hit me hard. Honestly, I don't know what to say, that's not a spoiler, but it was almost like, I don't mean to be dramatic, but like the thrill levels were equivalent to like the head snap you get during Gone Girl. Like, that's the kind of like whoa that you feel when you read like the ending of this book. That is everything. I know that was a quick wrap up, but my camera might actually like die on me right now, so I gotta go. But leave below links for all of your videos for your top 10 of 2018, because I want to see them and I need more book recs for this year. I missed you guys all a lot, and I can't wait for BookTube in 2019. Like, comment, subscribe, and I will see you guys soon. Bye!